Services Center, Conference Room E, and remote hybrid conferencing meeting. Meeting will be live streamed in the school board's YouTube channel. Speak and public comments, please sign up using the public comment form. You can find the form at the website. And if you sign up by a phone, you'll receive a phone call from the public during public comments when you'll be able to speak and address the committee for a maximum of 3 minutes on issues within the committee's domain. Forum will be limited to 15 minutes. Citizens desiring to participate in person must fill out a public comment card. It can be obtained from the board clerk upon arrival. So at this time, we have following board members present. Could you read the names off?
Ingrid Boatwright, Mia Frazier, Elizabeth Hay. Those are online. In the room, we have Victor Ney, William Smith, and Isaac Gordon, and Colonel Geyer.
And first, we've called to order. We're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes. Today I was wondering, when I looked at the agenda, I thought about it. And I know he did make mention of it. And in terms of, I looked at it and I saw election of the chair of this committee.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that in our past practices that you have always you've always delegated a person or have made a chair of a committee, and this time you didn't do that. And so I was kind of was wondering what made the shift, and I was thinking that's probably should have finished out this way versus us having to do this. So I was wondering what
I really thought about it, and I said, what would I do different if I could start over on the way the things were done? I would say that let the committee select the chair. Oh, somebody, rather than ask around and try to find who would do it, let the committee who's going to be working together elect the chair. That's very common practice in many places to do that. So I thought I'd try it with this one here and see how it goes. And if it goes all right, then maybe that's what we do in the future.
Ingrid's hands up.
Ingrid.
Hey, as the parliamentarian, what I will say is that we actually have a policy that doesn't really interpret this issue, but it's our governing policy, GC4, the role of the chair, says nominate members of all board committees subject to board approval. So I feel like we have gone a little bit different path. I'm comfortable with that, but I think maybe that's something that once the policy committee is up and going, we can potentially either flesh out a little bit more or a little less, depending on the will of the board.
Sounds good. There's nothing that says, but even with the policy committee, when a board makes an action, when a board votes on it, that makes the policy. So the board votes to elect their chair, and that's the policy. And you would be voting on who the chair of the board is. So we'll give it a try. All right. Okay. And what I plan to do is have the vote taken, and then I'm gonna step off I'm going to stay in the room and monitor, but because we can't have 6 people on this committee, because if we have 6 people, it's a full board meeting. That's a forum for a full board meeting. So the most we can have on it is 5 folks. And right now, without counting me, we got 5 folks.
We have 6.
I mean,
We have 1, 2, 3, 6. We have six people right now.
including me.
No, you're seven.
Okay, so one person here will have to say, and that'd be another thing we decide on. And maybe even the chair can decide on, one person will have to say, look, you can come to all the meetings, but you can't be a voting member because we only can have 5 on it and not have it be a complete board meeting. So I think we can go through that hurdle without too much trouble. What do you think? That sound all right? Sound all right on Ingrid and
What
uh,
are you
sir.
proposing?
Pardon
There's
me?
6 people on now that one would have to agree, just like volunteer to go off as a, I mean,
Oh,
Leah's
yeah,
currently
yeah.
volunteering in the chat.
right, somebody would have to say, volunteer, say, well, okay, I want to stay involved, but I can't, I don't care if I'm a voting member or not. Because we
Yeah, and I
can't
mean,
have,
I would like to have Leah's voice on the committee because I think we need to get somebody. I mean, I'm happy as parliamentarian that to just observe. I mean, I think that's reasonable for me to not be a voting member, but to still participate because if the parliamentarian has to enforce the policy, so it makes sense. So I'd rather, I can do that and let Leah
Okay.
stay on.
that makes it easy. That
Sound
makes
good,
it
Leah?
easy.
Okay, Leah says okay. So
Okay.
I'll be a
All right.
member, an ad hoc, whatever, a member at large or whatever the term is.
Okay,
So if Mr. Smalls joins in, because he had indicated that he wanted to be on the committee as well. He's
He can-
currently not here.
okay,
but-
so he can be an observer as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So,
Need to take the vote.
okay, we need to have approval of the agenda. So all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. And online,
Fraser, aye.
Fraser, aye. Okay, we have it, we have that. We have a public comment? No public comment. So, election of the chair, who would like to be considered for chair? Any volunteers?
Can I
You'll-
nominate
Was
someone?
Ingrid? Oh, go ahead. What were you saying, Ingrid?
I was wondering, I'm not a voting member. Can I nominate someone?
Yeah,
Because I'd like
Sure.
to nominate Elizabeth Hay.
okay. And
I'll second that.
second that, and was there a second to nominate Mr. Smith? Be a second. Okay, so are there any other nominations?
Yeah, I want to nominate Leah.
Now, Miss Fraser, okay?
Ms. Fraser.
So we have Miss Hay and Miss Fraser, and we have a second for Miss Fraser? Second the nomination for Miss Fraser, anybody?
I'll second that nomination.
You're gonna second, all right? All right, so we have 2 people nominated, Miss Fraser and Miss Hay. And so how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this by a show of hands? Do you want to do this by a text from the people online and a piece of paper with the name on it? How would you want to do it?
We can do it by basically by
By hand?
Sure, by hand.
By hand?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll start with Miss Hay first. All those in favor of Miss Hay being the chair signify by raising your right hand. 1.
Can I vote?
Yeah, yes, because we haven't, okay.
Am I allowed to vote?
Sure you are.
Like, how does this work? I would vote for me, which seems
Okay.
odd, but hey, here we are.
Okay,
Gotta
so
do it.
Miss Hay, Miss Boatright, and Mr. Nay. Okay, all those in favor of Miss Fraser, raise your hand. Got 2. So it looks like we got
Fraser, are you voting for yourself or no?
Miss Fraser.
If I vote for myself, that's a
That's
It's-
Hi.
It is what it is.
That's all right.
It is.
So can they just co-chair it?
Why
I
not?
don't. Oh,
Well, and I didn't know if Miss Frazier wanted to chair, so that's where I don't like voting for people for chair when I'm not certain they want the responsibility.
yeah, and I'm not sure if I know how to. I'll sit this one out.
You're gonna sit this one out, okay?
Yeah.
All right, well, then that means that Ms. Hay will be the chair.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, guys.
You have an important voice, Miss Frazier.
Yes, we do.
Took herself out.
Yeah, but then I still think that there's still. I wish she had said that, possibly leading to before we entertain entertain voting for taking her as a candidate, because then I might want to give him a shot at it, maybe if he to think about it, but that's the word of the board. You know what, I'll go with it, but I just
Yeah, I didn't know that someone was going to vote for me to be a chair of the committee.
I mean, me personally, I see a problem with and I'm going to speak my piece. I see a problem with us having some people as double chair, and this is their first time being a chair. I say it publicly. I just don't I'm not I did this policy committee is very different, and it drives a lot of the different things. And so I would really that you would want somebody seasoned to chair the policy committee in terms of someone who's brand new to the board. So I mean and I'm entitled to say that and I have the right to say that. And so I say that and I stand by that because
Okay,
that's exactly that's what I mean. So
okay,
yeah, that's what
okay, so well,
Ingrid, hands up.
Ingrid, go ahead.
Thank you. I nominated Ms. Hay because she has had experience with the result committee. I think she did a great job on the result committee, so she has had that experience. And this is going to be a heftier lift, which I think that she's ready for. I'm glad to get some of the newer folks like Ms. Frazier and Ms. Hay that are willing to step up and offer some leadership here. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a great fit. And I would have been happy with either Ms. Frazier or Ms. Hay, but I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad Ms. Frazier is going to be staying on. And then after that, I'll just kind of stay on as an observer, as the parliamentarian. And if you guys have questions about policy and whatnot that I that I can please let me know.
Well, that goes back to my point.
As leadership, we shouldn't necessarily when you're leading, you shouldn't always need a parliamentarian of a small committee like this, right? So I mean, that's just it goes again with the experience, and I think that this board lacks experience in certain areas, and this is one of them, unfortunately.
Mrs. Boatright would have remained on as parliamentarian regardless of who the chair of this committee was or is.
Well, Elizabeth, you are the chair, so the meeting is yours.
All right, I wasn't sure when we'd move along. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for voting. I was honestly coming to this meeting prepared to vote for Mrs. Boatright as the policy chair, as she has a passion for policy. So moving forward, it is the next step of our agenda for the day is the live streaming of board meetings, which we do have a document uploaded. I'm not sure if everyone has reviewed this document and whether they have insights or tweaks to this proposed policy.
Ms. Hay?
Yes.
So there are two different documents in there. I just uploaded the document that Mr. Ney has sent out to you all as a committee. The other document is a draft document for the School Boards Association. So those are the documents that are in there.
Yep, and one of them isn't coming up for me. Hold on, let me try to refresh. Because right now I'm only getting the live streaming school board meetings. I didn't see any concerns. I did preview all the documents before we arrived in the meeting, even though it was short timing. But I didn't see any flaws. Does anyone have any additions? It's still not uploading there. I'll check my email too, pull it up via email.
Which document are you trying to upload? The one from Mr.
Well,
Renee or the one from the
policy
school
for
board?
live streaming from Mr. Nay, because the only one that's showing up is titled live streaming of board meetings, which I believe is a General Assembly bill.
That one is from the School Boards Association. I could pull it up.
Correct. So the others are what is not coming up. So I am working to find those at the moment. But like I said, I open the floor to others if they saw or had edits to make to that document. As people who were involved in the results committee would see, I work as a team, not just by myself. So if anyone has edits. Where did that go?
So the one that Mr. Nay has sent, let me try to, I think that's the one you all are having issues. It's not coming
Yeah,
up.
it's not coming up in diligent, but
Yeah,
I
let
just
me
found
try to
it.
reload it again. I'll try to reload it again. But I can pull it up and share it on the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, but I also have it up via my email.
Okay.
I was just concerned that others wouldn't be able to see it, was my primary concern.
The paper copies are in the folders. Everyone who was here has paper copies in the folder. Those of you that are online, I can resend it. Mr. Nay sent it to you in the email and I have it up on the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I have it on the email.
Ingrid, did you see anything on there that you have concerns about? Or I'm assuming Vic, Mr. Nate does not have.
I applaud
Objections to
the
it?
use of AI. I thought that was genius and
Correct.
wish I had thought about it. I looked it over briefly before we came to the meeting because I was working today. But my main question, and Mr. Nay might be able to answer this, or someone, we do live stream our meetings currently. So I'm just not. I think, however, we focus in on what we need to do differently based on what we're currently doing, is kind of where I need clarification because I did not do a deep dive on what the state sent out. So do we know exactly where we're deficient?
I
would agree.
So she can answer.
So what we have right now, if you could pull up our public comment section there where we talk about, we already have in our coherent governance manual.
What are you asking me for?
Can you pull up under public participation board meetings where it talks about our meetings? Remember I'd given you that draft I had done where I'd kind of filled in where we could put it. I had taken the model policy from the school board, and then I looked at our policy, and we have already had a policy where we do live stream our meetings, and Robin and Jemiah are in compliance with the law because they give out a public notice 24 hours before the meeting and give notice to the public of how you can access via live stream. And we have an agreement with the county, correct, Robin, to help us with our live streaming so that it's available to the public. Now, a couple times when it's failed, we've been able to post it right afterwards. So what we need to do now is take this model policy and put it into the requirements of the law. They require posting with no more than 2 business days after the meeting. So if we have a problem with our live streaming, we've got to make sure that we have it posted within two meetings. And we also have to be really careful because the new law says that if we don't, we can lose some of our funding. So, and the statute that I have here, yeah, 1% of our funding if we don't do this. So we just need to add in that we're going to be live streaming our meetings, how we're going to go about doing it, and make sure that we follow that statute. Each school board must make reasonable efforts to ensure all meetings are open, accessible to the public, and available by live video and audio electronic access. And we have that up there. But we just need to clarify it a little bit more and add some more language in here so we're in compliance with this. The statute is 59/1985.
One thing I would like to say, and I know I'm just, one thing I did notice, there is some technology pieces in this, and that really was brought out by the AI summary. I would like to have our technology committee take a look at it because I sit next to Colonel Geyer, who is eternally frustrated, and rightfully so. We have so many glitches on the tech side, and I think some of it has to do, our Wi-Fi is not that great. These Zoom meetings are kind of big and clunky, but there's got to be some improvement we could make to some of these live streams that would maybe make it a little bit more user-friendly. So I don't know if we could piece that part out, because I think it would generate a really interesting conversation in technology.
That's a very good suggestion.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Because we're supposed to post on our website resources, recommendations, and best practices to ensure the meetings are visible and audible in real time. And we're supposed to have that posted no more than 2 business days before the meeting. But our Zoom link is for the county channel, correct, Robin? Yeah.
Our YouTube page in the county channel.
So we have 2
We
resources
have
for the
2
public.
resources. It goes on our YouTube page and then the county channel.
So the county channel is just a host. They're not doing any of the filming or anything else.
They film our board meetings. We do our committee meetings and we post it on YouTube.
So for the board meetings,
County films it and then posts it on their site.
so even though we are meeting the requirement of live streaming, we are not live streaming. The county is live streaming for us.
Correct, because that's
So we
what our
don't-
contract is with them.
Is that a gray area where we might have to come into compliance, where we own the cameras, we own all the hardware on the
Correct.
software and the bandwidth, because there's an accommodation there for 12 months of time if we don't have the proper bandwidth. Is that something that we need to be in compliance with?
But we're making reasonable efforts to ensure our meetings are live streamed.
Yes.
So, I mean,
But yeah, I mean, I think that's a gray area that we also need to clear up. We have to own all the equipment and all the hardware and software. And then still use the county channel as a host, as opposed to basically contracting out to them.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We contract out.
Yeah.
But we pay them.
We pay them
Oh,
Mhm.
a considerable amount of money.
Yes.
okay.
so we need to
That-
find out from
yeah, that-
technology. Oh, excuse me, Ms. Hay, how much the cost would be for us to have all of our own equipment? We
Yeah.
do it ourselves.
If that is what it takes to be compliant.
I don't know what it takes to be in compliance. I mean, if the make reasonable effort means that we're allowed to contract it out. But if they fail, is it on them or us? It's of course gonna be on us. The buck
We
stops.
still have to have it done within 7 days after the meeting. We've got to have it posted.
So then, if that's the case, the policy basically says that we have to come up with a way of providing an audio visual, which means somebody needs to record it on their phone or something,
Zoom records it.
or Zoom record it.
Zoom records it. You don't record it on YouTube board meetings because county do it, but.
So they'll record it on there. I'm always running a recording, so if they fail, I can pull it up. So it stays in it
Okay,
deletes after
that's
certain
good to know.
days, but then I can go and recover it for the time period. And then if I need to, if they fail, I can upload it. I have it.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
So we have them and then we have a backup.
Yeah, but that feed is still coming from their cameras.
The Zoom is coming from
Oh,
our.
Zoom will be from ours.
Oh, okay.
So
Got
They
it.
join in and they stream through their technology.
Okay. So the cameras are ours.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so confused right now. Would it be possible?
The Zoom cameras are ours, yeah,
Okay.
because she's running Zoom.
Would it be worth having Mr. Shohan or somebody come in and explain to the full board, like, this is what we have, this is how we interface with the county channel? Okay.
I believe that, well, for me, they've already done that for us, prior board members, they've done that already, but I guess the new people may need to know that information, yeah, because of the law. Well, you know, with regards to the law, I know how everything's in the phase. Y'all may not know, but we know because we had, this was a big thing, back maybe was it a couple of years ago or about a year ago, when the question was whether we're going to keep the service or whether they could actually give us a service or not. There was so once again, being operations, I believe that I'm fully aware of how this is going to go, but that's just, maybe just because I'm seasoned and I'm a seasoned board member, then I understand the process, but I understand that some people on the board don't understand it. So I respectfully, I guess it would be good for them to come and let you guys who don't know the information and how that works. Yeah.
So I got a question. So, promoting outside events, okay, like, the one I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow. This law doesn't hit that particular,
No.
oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
I think the next thing is compliance timeline.
Yeah,
I think I saw something in there that says we have until January 2027. Is that what it is?
January of 2026.
January 2026.
Yeah. Done ahead of time because we have to send it up to the state board after we approve.
I saw January 2027
We
in
have
there
to be
also.
actively doing it though by we have to give them the policy
Yeah.
by 2026 and it has to be fully implemented by 2027.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Wendy?
So if we're gonna flush out a policy and have time to take it from committee to the full board, and then maybe to have some time to go back to committee, and if we're going to seek stakeholder input, then we need to get on this quickly. We basically have 8 weeks to get this done.
yep, with all the holidays thrown in there too. So
Exactly. There
Yeah.
was a timeline that basically shows a table of the 9 weeks worth of work there, which is why I thought we needed to hurry up and get this done. So there's a planning timeline in there. I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees with what's there, but there's at least some wave tops or some benchmarks that we need to as far as just keep going down. Yep, keep going. Keep going.
which document are you in? The one from the state?
No, the document that I sent out.
Okay, perfect.
And it's
Because I see the deadline. I'm just not finding the timeline at the moment.
Want me to make a timeline? I got ChatGPT open.
This is
Go
in
for it,
the
girl.
okay, wait a minute.
I'm becoming a one-hit wonder for sure.
Back on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 6.
Workflow? Would it be under-
Yes, it's under the workflow. Yep.
Ah, that was a completely different document. Okay, that's why I didn't find it. Here we are. Yep, week 1, week 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yep.
6, 7, 8, which the majority of this we're doing. We just need to, like
There it is.
like Ms. Cartledge said, make sure we have the specificity to it.
Ms. Cartledge, do we have a current policy on live streaming? I know that we do it. Do we have a policy? I know it's not in our coherent governance. Is there an AR or anything? Because I think the first thing we got to do, I don't think we're all that deficient. I think we just need to figure out where the gaps are, but I don't know what we're comparing it to.
Right. So what I was doing was I looked at the model policy, the live streaming of board meetings that came out because I went to the August school law conference. And then I went into our coherent governance manual and looked at what we already had. So for example, we already have all board meetings will be conducted in accordance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. And I'd added in there and available by live streaming of board meetings. But in our current policy that we've got right now, we follow a lot of that school board model policy because we talk about when our regular board meetings are session, when we have our work sessions, when we have our special meetings, when a board meeting may be canceled. So to add the language, if you all want to, under, that would have been started on page 8, Robin. Can you say the name of that governance policy? Because I don't have page 8 here. Page 8 of 76. Look at that. I was thinking you all might want to add it in there.
Well,
And
it wouldn't really be an OE though, because the OE is of superintendents. This is a little bit, this would have to go under a governance.
No, it's not an OE. I'm talking about your policies.
Yeah,
So
the
it
operational
would be-
expectation.
It's what is it called? Page 8 of 76.
Under our governing, I just had it up.
Yeah, look, I just don't have page 8 here, but
Gary, I'm trying to pull it up and I'll go online and get it.
yeah, no, it's great what you've done.
It's governing commitments.
Governing commitments, I was thinking is where would you all would want to have this in there?
So I think that what we need to do between now and the next policy meeting, sorry, Elizabeth, I don't mean to
No,
butt
you're
in, but I'm
fine.
just,
I'm writing down goals, so go ahead.
I think we need to do a gap analysis between what we have. There's a technical assessment piece that we could refer to technology on November 10th. And get Mark to put that together, because I think it'll be pretty straightforward. He knows our bandwidth, he knows our Wi-Fi coverage, all that kind of stuff, but we could put the technical assessment, and then at the next policy committee meeting, just basically all we need to do is identify the gaps and rewrite that section, right? Because I think we're already more or less in compliance with the spirit of live streaming.
Yeah.
So what number did you want?
Well, I was going to suggest, Ingrid, you're great at this as well. I was going to take the information from the state and then our draft policy and upload them in AI to have it compare and tell us what the gap is.
Yeah, they could be excellent at identifying those gaps. And I didn't know if I didn't get enough time to look at Victor's thing. He may have already done that.
Yes, that's what I did.
Okay. So we know the gaps
The
then.
draft policy is already based on the current model policy.
Cool. So is there like a bullet list out of that saying, here are the 5 things we need to do to bring it into compliance?
No, I pretty much copied and pasted it into the document.
I have a question whenever y'all ready.
Yeah, see, that's where I can't find the gaps. Do you know what I mean? Because the way that he modeled it, from what I could tell, was just giving us a model that is in compliance. So I don't know where the gaps lie between, our current
I understand
policies
what you're
and
saying.
yeah, that's where Ingrid's head's at too. Not putting down any of the work that you went through. We're just trying to figure out if we're going to rewrite something or are we essentially making amendments.
Mr. Smith has a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
First off, I would the question is so exactly what is this committee tasked with today?
Coming up with a live stream policy or figuring out how we're not currently in compliance with the state's live streaming policy.
So then my second question would be, where's the letter that the state sent down to us that we were not in compliance?
We didn't get anything that we weren't in compliance.
Okay, so
Okay.
no. Okay, so my question is, then where did we get this from that we're out of compliance?
We're not out of
We're not out
compliance.
of compliance. The state came up saying that by a certain date, we have to have this as a policy. So the question is, are we doing everything that the state has already said, or are there gaps? And so now we're looking at what the gaps are.
Okay,
They come up with saying, we need to do this.
right.
We're already doing a lot of everything anyway.
Right.
So the question is, are we missing anything of what they're saying we're doing? And so we're trying to figure out where are the gaps.
And so then I would say, who is the contact person for the state? Because I would say it would, at this point, I would think to bring them in, because we don't need to recreating the wheel, because if it's something that we don't have, then the point us in the direction that we're what we do need, or where we might be missing something. So therefore we're not just spinning wheels to be spinning wheels. I mean, so that would where I would want to start. I think that we should start, because we might be doing more than what really is required. I mean, because it doesn't seem to me now that we're able to answer the questions. We're guessing on, it's essentially, it appears that we're guessing on what things that need to be fixed or what things that we need to have done in terms of, is there a simple check-off list of what the requirements are, or is there not a check-off list?
So here, if you look in there, there is the model policy. Right there. And we need to take this policy and incorporate it into our board policy.
And what might be helpful for everybody, and I can send it out, is I have a copy of the actual bill that was adopted by the legislature, and it was put into statute in section 59, 1985, school board meetings and live stream access. And I can get a copy of this to all of you all too. So the School Boards Association then took that language and then adopted and made a model policy. So we've got to go into our policy now and revise it to go in compliance with the statute. But a lot of things you already do, because a lot of school boards were not live streaming their meetings at all. And we've been doing that for many years.
And I understand that, but it's to my point, it's so easy to get marked off target, or to be, as we would say, in the weeds or moving the left stream. So I think it's better to create a checklist. So we're going down the checklist and seeing what we have that goes with that. The law that the number that you just created, 19, whatever, Mrs. College, did you just read off?
Yes, sir.
Because if we have that checklist, then we understand, okay, this is what we have. Okay, these two match up, this match up, that don't match up. So I think having a checklist will give us the guys that we need to diligently get us to get the job done. I'll leave it there.
Mr. Hayes, hands up.
I'm sorry, whose hand?
Mr. Nays.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Nay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the legal brief, or the brief packet, the legal briefing packet that I sent out is a legal summary. And it basically summarizes code 59-1985. I think it's phase 1 briefing, what it was called. So right at the top, legal summary, key requirements under South Carolina Code 59-1985. There's a list of everything that we need to do.
Get out, Mike.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
So all we have to do is go back to that. There's whether we, if we can fill in the gap based on that. I mean, I guess we can, if Mrs. Cartledge wants to send out the actual code, then we can scrutinize it even closer.
I'm checking to see if it's got everything in here that's in that statute. Mhm. And then the school board, we're not really reinventing the wheel because they already did a model policy.
Right.
So.
I think also I don't know who has the answer to this question, but I think we need to figure out legally what does legal compliance mean? Can we contract it out, or do we need to be able to have the service in-house? That's I think that's a big factor in it.
I'm in complete agreement with that as well, because this day and
Yes,
age,
definitely.
especially where we have a tech department, I would think that it's completely within our realm to own this ourselves, instead of, I almost see contracting it out as a liability. In terms of who's held accountable when, the chips don't fall as they're scheduled to.
So then who do we ask for the legal information? Who do we go to legally then?
We've got it right here. And we can talk with technology. If that's the will of the board that we're going to do it in-house, then we can do it in-house.
I would really prefer at this
And
point.
then we would say,
At this point, I would really prefer legal to bring back exactly what we need, because I believe that's what we pay the School Board Association a lot of money to do this as well. So between the school board and the School Board Association and legal, to bring us back, because that's what they get paid the big bucks for us, to bring us back exactly what we need and how we need to be moved, and then once that board says as a committee, then the committee should execute from there to decide how do we want to move after that information has been given to us. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. Anything else, I just think is just it's probably going in a direction that we probably may not want to go to get the job done.
So can I propose that we move forward with this, leaning on our legal department to look into the gaps, as well as members of the committee can look into where those gaps are as well. And then at the next meeting, we discuss the gap, if there is any, and what we're going to implement or add to our current policies or ARs, as Ms. Boatright said, and move forward from there. Because what I'm noticing is a lot of us, we're grateful for what Mr. Ney did, but we haven't had the chance to sit down and really compare and contrast what the state has sent us and what our model policy would be.
Ms. Cartledge's hands
Go
up.
ahead, Ms. Cartledge.
And Ms. Hay, we would need to speak with Mr. Chohan tomorrow and show him this information and and have him do a proposal of how we could do this in-house. Isn't that what the will of the board?
Yes,
See what-
absolutely. I think that's, I'm hearing Leah say yes, Mr. Ney said yes. I think Mrs. Boatright, where do you fall on this?
Oh,
I think she fell
She
off.
might,
she's-
oh, okay,
and
she
you
might be
have,
gone.
Pastor
And then
Gordon.
Mr. Gordon and
Smith.
Mr. Smith, what are your thoughts of having it in-house as well, so that the responsibility is solely with us to live stream?
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Being that
Okay.
the new law has been put in place, we don't need to be trying to figure out what happens if something did drop the law. Because we're gonna
No,
get
and-
charged for it.
Right, and we've had struggles with county council in the past, or them refusing to live stream our videos, which put us in the lurch. So I think with a district our size, it's more palatable to rely on our self-sufficiency, and we have great teams within the district to handle all of this versus contracting out. Mr. Smith, do you have anything?
I think that it's a little more, it may be a little more complicated than what we think it is in terms of live streaming and the resources and what it takes to do this. Because I believe that we've thought about this before as a board, and I think that it was a little bit more than what we wanted to undertake. So at this time, I'm going to say, I think we should stay the course, figure out how we can make work what we have, because with us just saying that in terms of looking at and being a steward of people's money, in terms of looking at us just adding the opponent of safety and security our district, and that's going to take some money itself that we didn't foresee at this time, and to add on another layer and level of more funding having to possibly be spilled out. I think that if this is something that we're into, there's a process, and I just don't think that a quick process right now will be the answer. So I'm leaning to figure out to more of in line to how we can get this fixed, and what do we have that is in our favor, that our resources are working, and what resources that we have that need to be fixed to get us up to date on this thing. That's where I stand. Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Cartledge, we would like, if that's a conversation you're going to have with Mr. Chohan, that would be amazing.
I will do that. I will do that in the morning, and I'm going to give him one of those packets, Robin. I'll give that to him and meet with him.
And can we ask for a comparison of cost of it being outsourced to being in-house as well?
Do we not have that, Ms. Cushman?
Have that information.
Do we not have that information?
Not recent.
Oh, but we do have
We
that.
have done it in the past. Don't have recent, yes.
Okay, I was actually, that'll be interesting just to pull. Thank you.
All right, on that note, do we have future topics other than this topic? I believe, Mr. Smith, you had wanted to have a conversation. It was back in the summer, and we have not rounded out on it, I don't believe, about policies for graduation.
Yes, I did, yes.
So I don't know if that's something we want to have as a future topic.
Colonel Guy's hands up.
Yes,
is an ad
Colonel
hoc.
Guyer?
Yeah, this is an ad hoc committee. And if you want to have it go beyond what's on the agenda today, you just need to make
An actual
committee
policy
statement.
committee meeting.
and
Yep.
ask for the board to say, yep, go do
Okay.
that.
Perfect. All right, I know he had asked for that before. Okay.
Yeah, Ms. Haynes, yeah, I do agree, with that, yes, and we could ask the board upon that, because that is something that will be greatly appreciated if we could get it done way before graduation, which will give schools time to adhere to that policy. If that's
Correct.
the way
So
we want to change that policy. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So we could ask November 4th or at the work session on November 21st, but we can figure that out later. So at this rate, I'm curious what the will is, or perhaps I should ask Ms. Cartledge, what time frame do you think we should reconvene? I want to give padding for the work that needs to be done and the assessments that need to be carried out. So I don't know if we should be looking at a week, 2 weeks.
Well, I'll speak to Mr. Chohan in the morning, and I could send a draft. Would you want to meet on November 4th, like before the board meeting? Or do you want to wait for 2 weeks?
If we could, would others be available before the board meeting on the 4th? Mr. Gordon, Mr. Smith, or Mr. Nay, or Leah?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Could we
Meeting
come
is
in
on
advance
Hilton
of
Head.
executive session?
So that meeting is on Hilton Head.
I struggle to do anything before 4 because I'm supposed to be on campus until at least 3:45. Sometimes
Okay.
I sneak out as early as 3:30, like I did
Okay.
today, but I can't do anything much earlier than about 4:30.
The 11th?
Okay. Do we
The
know
11th?
what time is our executive session scheduled for the 4th? Is it 5 or 4:30?
Currently, it's at 5.
Okay, so if we,
What's the 11th? What's the 11th? What's the 11th?
Which
Veterans Day.
that's a week later.
Veterans Day, we're not working on Veterans Day.
Oh.
yeah.
So no. we're not
Oh, we could do the 12th.
on the 12th.
Well, I just didn't know if
We have a legislative.
if that was enough time, Mr. Nay, or if you could Zoom in for that one, like while you're driving to Hilton Head. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Sure. I mean, I'll either not be there or I'll make accommodations, but whatever you need to do, whatever you think is best.
We could have
Okay.
Mr. Chow.
Pardon?
What about the 12th?
Mr. Chow, we could have Mr. Chohan with us.
What about the
On
12th?
the 4th? I'm not available on the 12th at all. I'm actually out of town that week. So I'd like to push for the 4th so that we can get this done while we have multiple members from the board already on site.
Well, it's
As Ms. Cartledge suggested.
it's really not common that we have anything before the board meeting, because at that time it's a lot going on to that, and normally if we have something before a board meeting, it's normally something that is very urgent.
This would be considered urgent. We need this done by January of 2026. That's why Ms. Cartledge was just suggesting she would bring us the information on that day.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay?
That's
Then if
fine.
we say we're gonna meet at 4, would that be
Okay.
acceptable?
I'll be there.
What was the
Okay.
date?
The 4th?
Before the board meeting on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
There instead of being at 5.
Okay.
Just
No
because
problem.
that will help us, once we align around the information, we can move forward appropriately afterwards.
Ms. Cartledge, hands up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Hay and members of the board, would it be suitable for you all for this draft of this policy to be under the governing commitments that we talked about earlier in that part of our policy? That's where we talk about board meetings and regular board meetings and.
This is a facet of a board meeting. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, putting under governing commitments.
Correct, I agree.
I see what you're saying. I'm
The
not.
policy, the governing commitments talks about, you talk about your meetings, you talk about board members can participate for electronic participation, you talk about notice of special call meetings, you talk about, that's where you've got everything listed about your meetings. That's a section in your policy about meetings. Or would you want it?
She's talking about here.
I'm talking about in your coherent governance manual, because that's be a policy in there.
We're going to have during the work session, at the end of the month of November,
Mhm.
we're going to have a good discussion on a coherent governance and the policy relationship. So we're going to cover that in some detail.
But where should I have the draft be located in your current policy manual is what I'm asking.
On that,
On this.
but I'm not following you.
So like when she draws up the draft, what's gonna be in the upper left-hand corner of what the name of the draft policy
Oh,
is?
okay.
Where is it
All
going to
right,
fit
all right.
within the coherent? Yeah.
So will it be like number 5, number 6?
Here, see,
Whatever.
I just want to make sure I want what you want in
Yeah.
here, because this is where you talk about board meetings.
Yeah, I
So I
understand,
thought
I
that would be the
understand,
place.
I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Wherever,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
yeah, you're the legal expert. I'll leave it up
Yeah,
to you.
right, yeah.
Any other thoughts, Ms. Frazier?
Give it to Angela, I don't even have it anymore.
No,
Congratulations.
I'll be available
No.
for the 4 o'clock meeting before the board.
Madam Chair, congratulations.
Oh, thank you all. So are we,
Thank you.
we're gonna wrap this up? We're good. We will see each other November 4th on Hilton Head at 4 p.m.
Great.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And we are adjourned. Thank you.